in this video I wanted to show you how to create this pattern here. Now I've got another video as well for doing this kind of thing, but it's a different pattern, so I thought I'd show you it on a cake that's got a bit of sort of scalloping and shaping on the edges to show you the different ways of using it. Now I do have another video for icing your cake with this edge. This cake is an old display cake that I had that I sprayed black, and I thought it'd be nice to just add a bit of brush embroidery around the edges to make it look a little bit different. So I'm going to show you now how to do that as it's half done. So I'll turn this round and you can see that it's half done, and you get a better idea here of what the cake looked like underneath. Now you'll see originally I had piped some detailing on, so we're going to ignore this bit, and I've got the other video that'll show you this bit, and in this video I'm going to show you the piping. Now I've got some royal icing in my piping bag for this one. Now a lot of people ask how I make the royal icing. I'll be honest, I buy the royal icing boxed in the powder form and I just add water, and you just follow the instructions on the back of the pack, but it just wants to be a nice firm consistency till it reaches peaks when you're doing it for this. I've got a number 2 nozzle on. When you are doing the brush embroidery, have a practice with different nozzles and see which ones work best for you. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to follow the outline on my shape. Now I'm only going to do a little bit at a time, otherwise you find it dries. Now I'm using a small brush for this. You can use different shaped brushes. Mine's like a rounded one. You can use flat ones. Now I've wet it slightly, but you don't want it to be wet too much, and you're just going to pull your icing into the middle. And obviously the thicker you pipe your icing on, the easier it is to pull it in. So we'll go again on this one. And we're going to pull that icing up. Now my brush might be a little bit wet on this one. Now I'm hoping you can see and that my hand's not getting in the way. Do 2 curves on this one. I don't want to go too far with it, just because if I start doing the whole thing in the outline before I use my brush, it will dry and you'll find that you won't be able to spread it out properly. Now I'm hoping you can see the brush strokes. Now I do have obviously the other brush embroidery video, but with me doing white on a white cake on the other one, I'm not sure it's as easy to see what I'm doing. And we're also, it's flower shapes that I do on the other one, so I thought this one might be a bit nice to give you different idea of different things you can do with it. Sorry, that's my phone carrying on in the background. Okay, so I followed that line, and what I'm going to do is just to give it a bit more depth, I'm going to add some more curves on, but I'm just going to draw these freehand, so I'm going to do it in between both edges of this one. Okay, so again, now apologies you probably can't see it this side because my hand's probably in the way. So we'll start again at the other side. So I'm going to pull. Now there's not a lot of space on these ones to pull it up. I'm working at a funny angle because of how I put the camera. But I'm hoping that you can see what I'm doing still. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is fill in around the edge of where that shape is. So in this bit. And again, exactly the same thing with your brush all the way through. It is worth practicing just on a bit of icing with this kind of thing, but using different brushes to see the different effects that you get when you use different shaped brushes, like fatter ones, thinner ones, rounder shaped ones, and then the ones that are flatter. As you do get different effects, some make your lines sort of less obvious and some will give you a really obvious brush stroke. Okay, so that's the curved bit done, and I'm just going to pipe on a little heart. So I'm just going to start by squeezing quite hard and then releasing, and then at the other side squeezing hard and then releasing, just to create a little heart. Okay, so I'll turn it around a little bit, and again we'll do a heart up here, and I do apologise if you can't see. I'm hoping you can see what I'm doing. And I'll just put a little dot, another dot, and I'm going over the ones that I had on the previous cake, but obviously if you haven't got them on, just design your own little pattern on the cake however you want it. And I'm just going to put some little leaves up at the top. So I'm going to start on this corner by just piping a bit of a leaf shape like that, and again we're going to try pulling the brush strokes. Now my line might not be quite thick enough to pull in the brush strokes on this one. If your line isn't thick enough when you've done it, just go over it again with a bit more icing. And try again with that. Okay, so for my pattern I'm going to add a couple more leaves at either side. Oh, and my line's broken. You will find that if you've got big air bubbles in your royal icing, your lines will break a little bit like what mine just did then. And one more at the other side. In fact, I'll move around so that you can see what I'm doing. Now I don't have a massively steady hand when I'm doing this, so you might want to steady yourself using your other hand. Just going to patch that one up a little bit there. Okay, and that's basically how you do it. You can try it on different shapes, doing different patterns. So I'll carry on doing this all the way around, and I'll speed it up for you. Okay, so the patterning's done all the way around now. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching.
If you liked this video and would like to see more, please click on the images of the other videos suggested. Also, please do subscribe to my channel using the button at the bottom right hand corner of the screen. You can also visit my cake website and my Facebook page to see more cakes and ideas.